Evening. My name is Ben Gray. I live on 3619 Downing Street. I just want to cover a couple of things related to the geotech report. So just one thing. After receiving tentative approval, the developer must apply for final approval. The MPC does not require a formal public hearing for final approval, although the municipality's ordinance may provide for one. Final approval may only be denied if the final development plan, as submitted, contains substantial variations from the successful tentative approval plan. Because of this standard, a stamp of final approval is often just a formality. Now again, Karen had mentioned something about reasons for waivers related to these plans. Section 512.1b of the MPC states that requests for waivers shall state in full the grounds and facts of unreasonableness or hardship on which the request is based, the provision or provisions of the ordinance involved, and the minimum modification necessary. Based on what the developer provided this evening, they did not provide a reasonable justification for a waiver for a full geotechnical. I'd ask, have any of you gentlemen seen their preliminary geotechnical report? You've seen it? Mr. Volvo, you've seen it? You've read it? Do you have it with you? Like, is it up there? Does one of you guys have it in front of you?
I don't think we have a copy of it right here.
Nobody has a copy of it. Does anybody, can somebody tell me what the summary of that report was?
Well, again, the staff, the elected officials rely on the township engineer to review these things.
Okay. Sir, do you have a copy of the geotechnical report? The preliminary?
I've read the geotech.
You've read it? Do you have it with you?
I'm not sure that I have it in my file. I didn't check.
Okay. So last week after the Planning Commission meeting, I had an opportunity to review everything the developer submitted in person. Unfortunately, I was not permitted, per Mr. Bonady, to take photographs or get copies of that report. So forgive me if this isn't verbatim what the report basically said, but they documented 2 different coal layers on that property all the way down to Brownsville Road. Coal is an issue for a couple of reasons. So the layer itself is an issue because you cannot construct on coal. It has to be removed or amended. There were concerns based on that report that there was coal spoil over much of that property. And again, same thing, cannot build on it. You have to have it removed or you have to have the soil amended. Okay. There were concerns in that report stating that they believed one of these houses was going to have its foundation built over a mine wall. I shouldn't have to tell you the issues that would possibly be enacted if they did that without any substantial modifications to the ground. And again, forgive me, but the report, my recollection of the summary was basically they needed to do a complete geotechnical evaluation before they did anything else. Now, what I heard up here this evening was basically they were saying that this is it, gentlemen. This is how it's going to be. Everything's good. This is the tentative plan. All the grading. I mean, you're not going to know anything about that property until you do a geotechnical evaluation. What they provided was a desktop evaluation, the preliminary, which is fine. But I mean, nobody stepped foot on that property to do the geotech evaluation. All they did was grab publicly available information from the USGS for the soils, mining maps, and what they said in that report was they need to have a full and complete geotechnical report completed. And again, their justification for not doing it is they're going to provide it at the final approval. Why can't they do it now? Why can't they provide that report to you so you guys can make an informed decision based on that report? It's as simple as that. They did not provide justification for a waiver. Therefore, the plan should be denied. You guys should deny the PRB. Let them resubmit it with everything completed. Thank you very much.
So, what's your background?
I work for the Department of Environmental Protection, sir, for the state.
Which section?
What section? Oil and gas management.
Do you work for the soil, air, or water quality?
Water quality.
Thank you, sir.
And I mean, we could discuss that too. Did they do detention basin? Did they do soil probes to determine if that's going to infiltrate? My job, if you want to know specifics, I show up at these oil and gas sites during construction and determine if they're following 102. If they're meeting the standards for earth disturbance, if they're meeting the standards for erosion and sedimentation control. You've got to do your due diligence on this property. And if you guys approve it based on what they submitted, you're in dereliction of your duty. Thank you very much.